Hey guys, so I am super duper excited for this makeup series that we're going to be doing. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I know this sounds kind of weird, but I really love Halloween and being able to dress up and stuff. The first look I'm going to do is a vampire look. This one should be really fun. So I'm going to start, I've already washed my face and moisturized really well because you want to do that with anything, but especially when you're doing like a heavy makeup application like Halloween makeup. So these looks are going to be probably either 100% or about, 80% maybe Younique products. There might be a couple things I use that are not Younique, but I'll let you know. Pretty much either the equivalent of Younique or I'll let you know what I'm using anyway. Alright, so that was primer I'm putting all over my face here. This is going to be a long video because obviously I'm showing you every step instead of just doing like the eyes like I do with a lot of other videos. So I'm using eye primer too because I want my colors to really stand out. Alright. So I'm going to be using, instead of like white makeup, which I don't have any of, to be honest. I'm going to be using the lightest shade we have of makeup and Younique, which is the Scarlet. And I'm actually going to be doing a lot of just concealer all over my face and not just foundation, because I want it to be really pale for this. So, and the concealer is a little bit heavier, so hopefully it's going to cover a little bit better. We'll go back over with some of the foundation, but we want this to be really fair, which this is. Sorry, the sun shines a little bright in there, and let's tone that down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so you can see how much lighter this is. I usually use Scarlet, but definitely not the concealer all over, so you can really see this is paling me out quite a bit. So a lot of people would use white makeup for this, white Halloween makeup, or just white face paint. I don't really want to go quite that garish. I want it to be a little bit more of a natural vampire. I don't know how that works, but anyway. Alright, so the concealer is pretty much all over my face now, blended in. So I'm going to take and top it with the Touch Mineral Foundation in Scarlet. And I have been using a sponge mostly, but I think for this application, because I want it to be a little bit heavier, I think I'm actually going to use the brush. The sponge tends to take off more makeup than the brush does, so I'll be using the brush. So I've got several really great ideas for doing different makeup looks that are basically our classic ones, you know, like a vampire or a witch. But if you have any others you really want to see, let me know and I'll try and figure out what to do to create those. And it's okay if I get concealer or my foundation in my eyebrows, because I'm going to be really drawing those in kind of heavy. So, alright, so I don't know if you can tell how pale I really am there, but it's pretty white there. There we go, a little bit more light there. Alright, so I don't really have a powder that's really white enough. So I have I collected makeup for a long time, so I have some old makeup that I have. This one is just a yellow powder. If I had the Scarlet face powder, I'd be using that. What I'm doing is I'm going to mix the yellowish colored highlighter powder I have with a very shimmery powder. And just going to work that all over. And it's not a white. Neither of these powders is a white. One is, like I said, a yellow. The other one is kind of this grayish color. It's not a gray, but it's more of a shell color. But it gives a lot of shimmer. So I kind of want my vampiress, I guess, to shine through a little bit. So anything that's going to reflect light a little bit is going to go a long way here, because the contouring is going to be really dramatic and dark on here. So we shall see how things go. Alright, so I'm pretty pale. I think you can see that. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and contour. But instead of using like your normal browns, brown shades that you usually use for contour, I'm actually going to be using grays. Like grays and probably some black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a cotton, what are the cotton makeup wedges? Or not the cotton, foam makeup wedges like this. And I'm going to use this. I'm going to start off using the Addiction number 2, which is a lot of grays in there. So I'm going to go in. I want to start with my darker shade right here because I want it to feather down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, I think, I'll start with Perplexed, which is this dark gray here. So I'm just going to take and actually use like the chisel edge of this foam applicator and go right along my cheekbone and start feathering down . Because we want her to be a little gaunt. She's missed a few meals at this point. And of course with me that's going to be a little hard. But anyway. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so you can see that. Alright, so now I'm going to take just a cotton ball and kind of start softening that harsh line. I'll probably take my powder brush too and kind of go over that. I'm also going to be contouring using the gray like down my nose because I want it to be really dark contour. So just taking the same makeup sponge and going down my nose, going around the tip. And it's okay if we darken in around the eye because she's going to be, like I said, she's kind of gaunt and sunken in, so we want to make sure she looks pretty gaunt. Okay. I think I'm actually going to take this brush here. This is a flat foundation brush. Yeah, see, that's looking better. We need to blend this in quite a bit. Because you don't want super sharp, choppy edges. I'll blend that out a little bit. Okay. and take a little bit of that gray and go around the edge of the face. Really get in there where the temple is so you can, like I said, make her look really sunken. And some of this really probably would work a little better with a cream. I don't have creams right now, so we're going to be using what I got here. Alright, so and you'll probably want to go in under the jaw with some of the gray as well, because you're wanting to really chisel out the bone structure here. Alright, so I'm just going to take my big fluffy powder brush that I used before and just kind of blend things out. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of that highlighter powder that I was showing you earlier, this one, and really like use my finger to apply it down the bridge of the nose, the forehead, and definitely along the top of the cheekbone here, because we really want that sharp cheekbone there. Alright, so now we're going to start going into the eyes. So first thing I'm going to do, as you already know probably, is curl my lashes. So I won't get any of the eye makeup off onto the curler. Okay. So I'm going to be using a mixture of some grays and from the Addiction 2 and some of the Addiction 5, which are these. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do actually is apply I think I'm actually going to start with a little bit of cream shadow. You guys know I like this as a base. I'm going to use the Dainty, which is a gray. Obviously we're doing a lot of gray here. But I'm just going to use that all over my lid, all the way up to the brow bone. So I'm just going to take and get a little bit of that gray on my brush and paint it on up to the brow. Make sure you have plenty of black eyeliner if you're going to do this look too, because it's going to be a very eyeliner heavy look. Because we're also going to be using the black eyeliner as a lip liner for this look. So that is our Dainty Splurge shadow. I'm then going to go in with a light gray, which I think we're going to go with romantic and a mixture of romantic and hopeless. So the two at this end of the spectrum here on this Addiction 2. Just going to go in with my angled shadow brush and kind of blend both of those shadows together. And that's going to go on the lid. Just gives it a nice silver gray. Now, of course, all these would look better if I had a costume and had a wig or something to go with, but we're doing what I got stuff for. So, you'd think I'd have a collection considering how much I like Halloween, but I don't have a collection of like wigs and stuff like that. That'd be fun though. Have to hit the Halloween stores after Halloween to get some deals on them. All right, so there is our gray in there. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and go into the Addiction 5, and I'm gonna use this. Is it vintage? Yes, vintage. Right here, in the crease of my eye, because we want this to really be kind of creepy. So we're using a combination of like black and gray and red. So I'm gonna really get in there with some of this color. I usually do very wearable makeup. These are probably not going to be as wearable for you on a given day. Alright, so there's our red, or reddish copper shade. So what I want to do with that is, since we have that in the crease, I want to take and darken the crease some more. So I'm going to go in with the Perplex that we use for shading on our face. So it's this dark gray. And go in with my shadow brush, shader brush. And just pick up some of that dark gray and kind of go around the edges of that copper shade. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but I'm going around the edge of that reddish copper so it really kind of stands out against the black or dark gray here. I'm not bringing this dark gray down to the lash line because I'm going to be doing a really heavy winged black eyeliner. So we really don't need to bring it down that far. And now, just for something a little bit more odd, I guess, an odd shade, I'm going to go into the gold, which is Vindictive, in this palette. So it's that one right there. And I'm going to use that on my brow bone. So I'm going to go right in there. And I don't know why I decided to go with gold on the brow bone here. But for some reason it just looked a little extra funky and I really liked it, so. It's not a heavy gold, it's like, but it is gold, so. And of course black and gold and all that kind of stuff's kind of creepy, so. So yeah. Maybe bring a little bit of the gold down into the inner corner. Just for some contrast, because we've already like darkened in here. Kind of opposite of what you usually do with your makeup and stuff like that. You don't want to darken in there, but this is for this look we do. Alright, so that is basically our eye shadow. I'm going to be coming back in with some of the red again after I do the heavy black liner, because I want to add a little bit of the red around the liner on the bottom. So I have our perfect pencil liner. So I'm going to start off thin at the inner corner. And I'm really bringing this around well you can see this. I'm bringing this all the way around the inner corner of the eye. Alright, and then we're actually going to line pretty heavily the bottom lashes. And since I'm already on the bottom doing this, I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline. Alright, and then I'm going to take my lash pen, or my liner pencil, and bring it out pretty far, really, into a wing. You can see that. So then I'm going to take and connect where I'd started on the upper lashes, upper lash line, and bring it out. We're going to bring it out kind of at an angle so we have that really wide, thick cat eye liner. This is why I said we didn't really need to bring that dark gray down that far, because we were going to go up pretty high with the liner. So I don't know how well you can see that wing right there. But that, alright. And we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. Thinner on the inner. Alright, remember to bring it around like your tear duct area in the corner of your eye. Heavy line underneath the lower lashes, which I don't usually recommend, but for this look, that's what we're going for. And I'm winging this liner out almost to the edge of my eyebrow. Okay, this is really a far out wing. Far out wing. Far out, dude. Alright. So I'm filling in my wing. Line the waterline. Alright. And I was telling you I was going to do a little bit more liner on the bottom. What I'm going to do is take my liner brush, which is this one, dip it in a little bit of water, and go back into the vintage, which was the red coppery shade that we had. And just pick up some of that, make it kind of inky. And what we're going to do is we're going to go under the liner on the bottom and wing it out to that wing. And maybe actually bring a little bit on top, kind of connecting where that red was in the shadow, and bring that out to the point. Okay. Alright, we're going to do that on both sides. Alright, so that is basically our eyeshadow and liner. Of course I have to do our brows. So I'm kind of darkening that area there. So what I'm going to do with the brows, I really want them to be kind of like heavy and dramatic. I'm not going to go with black, but I'm going to go with a very dark brown shadow and use my liner brush like I just did with on the eyes. But I really want these to be really sharp. You don't want them to be, these are not going to be your natural brows. So just to forewarn you, these are not going to be natural brows. So I've got some of the color, this dark brown on, you can't even really see it on this. So I'm going to draw my shape because I want them to come up really strong to a point. And bring up from the bottom, following that same thing. So we're really doing a very strong dark brow here. So you can see that. You can see how like very, very, very strong that is. And I want to make sure I have a really good arch. I don't know why I think of vampires, I think of like all angles, sharp angles, which is why we did a lot of the heavy contour. So, same thing with the brows. I'm doing a lot of sharp angles. Much sharper than you would do on your normal brow line. So yeah, this is a really long video. Sorry guys. We haven't gotten to the lips yet. The lips are going to be fun though, so hold on a second. Alright, so that is our brows. And you can see they're really painted on there. They're there. Sorry, my nose is itching. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do my fiber lash on my lashes real quick before we do the lips. So, and this is one time where you can go literally as many times as you want or feel like going with your fiber lash, and it'll only look better. So I'm just going to take, but I'm going to still stick with my normal 2 coats on top, 1 coat on the bottom, just because I don't feel like doing more than that. Alright, so wish I had some fake fangs for this since it's a vampire look, but I don't. Have to deal with my own teeth. Alright. Okay, so do the other lashes, other side. And obviously with this look, if you wanted to wear false lashes, this would be a look to wear false lashes with. Ooh, sorry. Probably the bigger and more spidery the better you could get with this look. I'm also feeling like a black wig with this. Or if you happen to be blessed with long dark hair, I would just go with like just long, have your hair just be really full to kind of counteract your really gaunt shadowing on the face. I don't know that I go quite Elvira full, but you know, that's entirely up to you. Shout out to Cassandra Peterson, I think is her last name, who played Elvira. Awesome job. Insane makeup, insane costumes. I know everybody's going, Elvira was before your time. Yes, she was, but doesn't mean I can't watch her on Netflix. Ah, that's where I found it. Found her movie, Mistress of the Darkness, which was really, actually a very interesting movie. A little much on the innuendos, but you know. Take one look at her in her costume and you knew she was going to be full of innuendos. So this, with the last coat of the gel, is really our eye look for this vampire look here. And I might need to darken the hollow in my cheek on this side a little bit more because it's a little darker over here. So I might go ahead and get a little bit perplexed on my brush. So, the lips. This is where we're going to have some fun. We're actually going to use the black eyeliner for our lips, so it's the perfect liner, and we're going to use the, whoops, I just dropped my liner. We're going to use Primal liner for our lips as well. So first, we're going to use the black. To outline our lips. I'm just going to take and feather that in a little bit with my finger towards the inner part of the lip. Like so. Then we're going to take the Primal and kind of fill in on the inner part of the lip. And basically, if you just kind of lick your lips and smudge them a little bit, they're going to smudge and blend together. But this is obviously not the full lip. We want to do a gloss on top, and I'm going to use Luscious, which is our dark red lip gloss. I'll take this and go right over top. And put it that way. And really, that is our vampire look. Now obviously, you know, you could have a little blood droplets or something. I don't have any fake blood on me right now, so like I normally would. I actually don't normally keep fake Halloween blood on me, at, you know, just for an emergency purpose, I guess. That's not something I normally do, but it would be helpful in this case. I'm going to get a black shawl and kind of wrap it around me so you guys can kind of see more of the effect here. So I'm going to pause you for a second. Alright, so I have this black shawl. I'm going to kind of just drape around because I think black is going to be really, black or red is really going to be your go-to for this one. So you can kind of see the drama. And of course, if you wanted to do a black wig as well, I'm just going to bring this up over my head, over top of my head, kind of. Pop my ears out a little bit. There we go. Oh, that looks really ridiculous. But anyway, because like I have a natural widow's peak, you could actually darken that a little bit, bring it down a little bit more for your vampire. But yeah, I'm thinking black or red are probably going to be, or even a gray would be a good choice for a costume to go with this look. I hope you like this. This is actually really fun. And I hope you can do this on your own if you like it. If you do, please send me a picture. I'd love to see it on you guys. Hope you had fun. I did, and I will see you guys later. Bye.